From a secret underground bunker somewhere in the Arizona desert, 40 feet below the Earth's surface, two men, aided by their robotic artificial intelligence, Jennifer,
At your service.
hide from their wives and kids to discuss man stuff with interesting and unusual people. These men are the Bunker Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a special day. The Bunker Boys have reunited.
Yes, we have.
You were off last week because of some family obligations, and I hope that date in court worked out okay for you.
It did. Everything turned out fine.
It wasn't that. I'm just kidding. You were having, you had relatives in from out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a little cookout. What did you guys make?
Oh, what did we do? Was that when we made the pork roast?
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
I cooked, almost 30 pounds of pork.
Wow, that's a lot of pork.
Yeah, we had pulled pork sandwiches and tacos and...
Well, he was kind enough to bring over my wife and I some pulled pork.
Yes.
So that was nice.
Have you eaten that yet?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good, huh?
It was excellent. You said it was only worth a sandwich or so in there. There was a lot in there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, we shared it. We had sandwiches, and then we took some home to my mother-in-law and my son, and they had some.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was that much in there.
Yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and then my wife made some a week later. And anyway, anything new and exciting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have a bit of a story, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What did you do this past week?
Well, I had to go get a colonoscopy.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, whee! Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent is right. Well, excellent now, yeah. They found, 4 polyps
And a Buick.
in a Buick sitting sideways. No, they found 4 polyps and they cut them out and
TMI.
cauterized them and everything. Still waiting for the test to come back.
Yeah,
and see
that's
if
all.
they're...
You'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll be all right. He said if they come back, what is it, malignant?
Malignant tumors, yeah.
Yeah, you have to come back in 5 years, if not 10 years. But I'm going back in 5 years anyways.
That's always a good practice, I think.
You know, because it scared the hell out of me. It did. My gut, well, you knew that. I was scared. Because I even told you. I said, because my friend in California, he told me he has diverticulitis. I have diverticulosis. And he had to get part of his colon cut out.
Yeah, that would certainly fix it.
Yeah.
Get rid of the problem corner.
That's why I was scared to death. I'm like, oh no. And he was bedridden for, a month. He couldn't do anything because I guess they cut your stomach muscle and everything else to get in there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, in the intestine, something like that. He was saying, and then his friend, he said that you have 18 feet of large intestine, and they took 14 feet out.
Holy mackerel!
Yeah, and that's when I said, oh no, and I'm like, oh Lord, please.
I had a friend with a couple of bouts of it, and they removed several feet of his, and he's fine.
Really?
Yeah. But, he has to get tested every year now, I think, until, they're sure he's out of the woods.
Right. That's what he said this guy has to get tested every year, too.
Yep. But that's, if you have to lose a few feet, as long as you don't lose all of it, you're okay.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're talking about intestine. I thought you were talking about feet.
No, feet of intestine.
I just kidding.
Man, you confused me.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, your doggy has missed me because he's over here at my feet and sitting here.
Good old Rockford.
Yeah, so if you hear any thumping, that's the tail hitting my chair. He's got one of those rope-like tails and doesn't realize that he's a big boy.
Yeah, he doesn't realize he's full grown and he's still a pup.
Yep. He acts like a pup, don't you? You knucklehead?
But he just turned a year, last month?
Yep.
Something like
That was him.
That was him.
I don't wear a collar, so, anymore. So, not since I broke free and got out of my parents' basement. But that's another story. So other than that, how have you been?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Good.
Everything's going real good.
Good. That's always good news. So I got over to the the town of Williams not too long ago, and over the past couple of weeks, I just haven't talked about it much. And we visited and enjoyed a guy playing guitar over there. And Williams is right on the old Route 66. So if you're a Route 66 fan, that's a great place to go and visit. What is he doing?
Oh, he's trying to get on my lap.
I don't think so.
You hear him?
Yeah. I hope that wasn't you.
No, that's not me. That's him.
It's warm in here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Jennifer, can you do something?
Yes.
No, not that.
Not like that, Jennifer. Tell Schmitty to get the air conditioning going.
Jennifer at your service.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, are you giving him some water over there?
Yeah, I'm going to give him some water.
Yeah, good. So I just want to briefly touch on that. Mike was in our show from Glendale, and if you haven't tuned in to hear that show, that was something. I know you haven't heard it all yet, and just it gives the creeps when you hear what this young man went through, living in a house that was haunted. And the first thing he noticed when he moved in was that one room was really, really cold, and the closet in the hallway was very, very hot. And he said, I couldn't believe. He said he couldn't even put their coats in there because it was so hot. When they took them out, they couldn't even put them on. And I guess it must have been in the winter time or something, because Phoenix is not cold per se. But he said that he noticed right away that the rooms were not normal. And he didn't think too much of it until he started having to wear a coat to bed, and then realized that maybe
that was the cold room.
That was the cold room.
Yeah.
It was his bedroom. But the whole thing, he had a mild tragedy, if there is such a thing. No human life was lost, but he lost some animals, and that was sad. And all because there was some spirit in the house, and they decided to amplify things by playing with a Ouija board.
Ouija.
Yeah. Stay away from the Ouija boards, kids. That is not something to play with.
No, it isn't.
You know, and I think the main thing people are drawn to is the mystery of it all, because they can't explain it, and they want to be a part of it and be able to say, hey, I had this experience. Well, save yourself a lot of aggravation, because if something attaches to you, it's not something that goes away easily, as Mike found out. But yeah, I'll save that for the show and let you listen to that show, because show number 28, it's amazing. I just gave me goosebumps.
Well, I bet it did. Now that was we both talked to a mic too, didn't we?
Yeah, there were two mics that we interviewed.
Yeah.
You and I interviewed the first one,
right?
And the second one I did the day you were out for your family thing.
Right. Hoedown.
Your hoedown. Yeah. Yep. You ever attend a hoedown?
No.
Yeah, I grew up with people that went to hoedowns. It was fun. I still go to Bluegrass things once in a while, and I sit in with guitar players. They'll play some old Bluegrass stuff from 100 years ago.
Wow.
And because they're common songs, and everybody knows them that attends Bluegrass.
Like Old MacDonald and stuff like that.
Yeah, not quite like that, but there's some that are have to do with like the war, and trying to. Now, of course, I can't think of one now that I'm on the spot here.
Old Gray Mare.
Stuff like that, but there's something they're much more lively. They're not just, 3 chord. Well, some of them are 3 or 4 chords, but they're usually fiddle tunes, and the fiddles take the lead on it. The guitar players will play the rhythm.
So they just fiddle around with them.
They fiddle around, and they enjoy it while they're doing that.
I bet they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start fiddling around with our guitars.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of
Try
which,
something.
my wife and I like to get on OfferUp to buy used equipment or used things that are still in great shape that people no longer need, and we have a need for. So it's kind of a great, almost like a garage sale online. And of course, if you're going to use something like that, you have to be careful. You want to set up a meeting with some axe murderer and then, be alone in a dark alley.
Well, didn't you tell me a story like that with one of your friends and a gun?
Yeah, he went to purchase a gun. To sell a gun. That's what it was. He met him in a public place.
Parking lot or something.
Yeah. And when it comes to guns, you have to take extra measures. There's nothing illegal about selling the gun. But he was at this sporting goods store, and he said, meet me here, and, I want this amount of money. And the guy said, oh, yeah, that's a good price. And he asked him questions about the weapon and what it looked like and what it was at this model, that model. And they agreed to terms. So he meets him at the parking lot, and smartly, he tells his buddy to come with him. He goes, here's what I'd like you to do. We're going to arrive early, and I want you to sit back here, and watch me, make sure everything's okay. And because he didn't want to get robbed.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought his other pistol with him. He had concealed carry permit. And here in the state of Arizona, you are not required to carry a permit. If you're 21 and over, you can carry a gun legally, openly, or concealed. Doesn't matter. Which I think is the way things should be. And anyway, he had it on him, concealed. And the guy pulls up, and he's got like a Suburban or something. And in the back, he opens the back, and he says, well, let's... I think they were going to trade something. Maybe that's what it was, because he brought something with him, and it was in the back of his Suburban. And he opened it up, showed them, and they said, okay, great. And then as he was asking him to trade him the money for the gun or trade the weapon for weapon, he said, just put the gun down right there. He goes, okay. He said, let me get the other gun then. You hand it to me, and we'll be done. He said, no, just put the gun down there. And he says, what are you saying? He said, I'm saying put the gun down in my car and leave and back away.
Wow.
And he saw that the guy was armed. He showed him his weapon. So he was threatening him with a pistol and told him to leave the gun there that he was trying to sell or trade. So my friend pulls his gun out and says, I don't think so. And the guy slammed the door, pulled out his gun and was pointing it at my friend, and got in the car and drove away. Well, they followed him. His buddy was in the other car, started it up, and was right on the guy's tail. So on the cell phone, he calls the police. And he said, we've just been ripped off. And
so he did take the gun.
He did take the gun. And my buddy didn't want to shoot the guy,
Right.
He just wanted to not get shot himself. And they called the police. They caught him like 3 blocks down the road.
Wow.
They busted him.
Good.
Pulled him over, and he went to jail.
Good.
Yeah. So you do have to be careful.
Excuse me. Now, didn't Cabela's have that on tape too or something?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure
I thought
they
you
did.
said you mentioned something.
Yeah,
about
it's
the-
been so long since I thought about the story. Then whatever I told you was accurate, but I don't remember. But I think now that you mentioned it, I think that might be right. Yeah, and then they saw the tape, and that's what proved to them that he stole the
Right,
gun.
exactly.
Yeah, because otherwise it's his word against the guys, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Especially
makes
if it's the serial numbers aren't under his name.
right.
So.
Yeah, I think they were though. I think he bought the gun at Cabela's.
Oh, really? That same Cabela's?
Yeah, the same
be
one.
dadgum, didn't that something?
Yes, it is something. Isn't that something?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we didn't ask you.
Yeah, we didn't ask
Go
you.
back
You
to
just
sleep.
interrupted us.
Jen. But yeah, it was an exciting time, and he won't forget that anytime soon. I said at least he was smart and had his buddy there. And it's always a good idea that if you're going to meet somebody, even in public, you meet somewhere where it's lighted, and usually during the day would be nice, and bring a friend with you, especially if you're female, because somebody that's male can overpower you, and
Right.
even a big woman can overpower a guy, But anyway, I ended up buying something on OfferUp.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about
Yeah,
that.
I haven't shown you yet, but it's pretty cool. It's a little guitar amplifier it only pulls 10 watts, and that's what made me take notice of it. Because up here, you have to count every watt.
What?
What? You don't want to pull too much power. And my other amplifier, which is really nice, is an old tube type, and it pulls 100 watts.
It draws a lot of juice.
A lot of juice. So, being conscious of that, I wanted to make sure that I got something that I could use all the time in practice. And it's got effects on it and all sorts of stuff.
And what flavor is that?
It's a new...
England made or something?
It's England made, yeah. Made in the UK. And I'd never heard of them before. And I thought, when I purchased it, that it was this new Black Heart amplifier that my other buddy Garth, that he's got one. And it pulls very low wattage. And I said, oh, that's cool. Well, I don't know if it's the same company or not, but yeah, I think his pulls 5 watts. And it gives a sound like it's 50.
Wow.
Yeah, it just
That's
rocks.
amazing. That's cool.
And he could actually play out with that amp. It's pretty big.
I wish I would have known that 12 years ago when we first moved up here. 'Cause
Yeah.
we used to jam up here,
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
In your
I
back room?
Mm-hmm. Had a big PA set up and my drums and amplifiers. And,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. But I'm just wondering how much juice we were drawing in,
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, you don't have stuff to run your refrigerator.
Right.
What's more important, your band or your refrigerator?
Well, back then it was the band.
Yeah, right. Spoken like a true man.
Hell, just unplug the refrigerator.
It'll stay cold.
It'll stay cold.
We've got hours. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have to compliment you. Your wife sent me a video about you guys jamming. It was filmed years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know where it was filmed. Somebody's house.
Oh, it was probably. Oh, yeah, her sister's house.
Yeah. You guys did a good job.
Did we?
Yeah. It was fun. Fun to listen to. We watched the whole thing.
I'll be darned.
I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes long.
How many songs did we play?
I can't even remember.
What were we playing?
I can't remember that either. It was like a month ago when she sent it. I think it was the last time we were up here, and she remembered she goes, I'll have to send that to you.
I'll be darned.
And when we got home, it was there.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is something.
Really something. But anyways, how have you guys been doing?
Pretty good. We've been, just busy trying to clean up the house and stuff, and get Nick ready for school, get all his stuff ready to go.
When does he go back?
August, so it's about a month away. They don't get much time off, or as much time off as we used to get.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what we used to get out in June and go back in September or something.
Well, they're similar. They're off in May and go back in August. But we didn't really do anything this year vacation-wise. I couldn't get the time off that my wife had off. And so she and Nick and my mother-in-law all ran around a little bit at the times I had to work, and they didn't. So they lived the life of Riley for a while.
Yep.
They went to some dim sum and had that Chinese brunch, basically, is what it is. Oh, man, that's the best. If you haven't experienced dim sum, you need to try some. Try some
what is
dim
it?
sum. Well, it's basically it's a traditional breakfast, and you go there and you order off of a card. You tell them what you want. They have traditional items, and all the Chinese folks know what they have. But they have it in a list, and you point on the list, I want this, I want that, I want the other. They have Chinese dumplings.
And then you say, I want some of this.
This and that, and dim sum and that sum. But some really good stuff. They have pork rolls, and being a lily white folk, I didn't know a lot of that stuff until my Chinese wife introduced me to it. But they have, of course, the Chinese name for everything, and I don't know what that is. And my wife has taught me over the years what some of the names are. Shoo mai is like a pork roll. It's in a
wrapper.
It's in a wrapper. Yeah, dough wrapper.
Right. What do they call it? Egg roll wrapper? Roll? Kind of like an egg roll?
Kind of like it. Well, not crispy like that. It's more like a dough ball.
Oh, okay. So it's steamed.
Yeah, they steam it, and it's very good. And then they have pork, like shredded pork, inside of a bun that's been baked in the oven, and it's got honey on the top, glazed in honey, and it's just like a regular dinner
Honey
roll.
pork buns.
But man, are those good.
I bet.
They taste so good. And then they have ding doys.
Okay. I thought all guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, ding doys.
All guys have ding doys. Well,
No,
I guess not all of them.
but they enjoy them if they try them. But yeah, they're like little round sesame balls made in that same dough, only instead of steamed, I think they're baked, and inside them is this bean paste, and the bean paste is mixed with something to make it sweet, and it's like almost a dessert treat, really.
Sounds like it.
And then, of course, you have the Chinese tea to go with all that. And we usually back it up with a chaser of water, ice water. So everything tastes nice and fresh and good.
Ice water.
Yep.
Ice water.
Yeah,
Cut an onion. That'll make your ice water.
Yeah. Well, that's the stuff people in hell want. Ice water.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I made Chinese food a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, what'd you make?
I made sweet and sour pork.
Ah, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good
You
stuff.
know, you cut the meat in cubes, in about 1-inch cubes, and dip it in the batter, and you deep fry it.
And Choy makes Chinese food.
Who?
That's from the 70s, 60s and 70s. Remember Choy?
Oh, Choy.
They had those canned Chinese food. That was my introduction to Chinese food, Choy. Isn't that horrible? It tastes nothing like the real stuff.
No, it doesn't.
Man, the real stuff's so much better.
Oh, by all means.
I know. I'm saying.
That's what I miss up here is good food.
Yeah.
You know, Mary and I and my brother Paul, we all went out to this Chinese place in Prescott. It was a Chinese buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word! It was terrible.
Really?
Yes, it was outrageously terrible.
Oh boy, that's not
I mean,
good.
they didn't have anything out. You know, they had sweet and sour pork, and then major news chicken, and they only had like 3 or 4 things.
What is his name? General
Lee or
General Co. or General. Why can't I think of that?
But you
General
know
Powell's chicken. Or
you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I do.
And then they had the orange sesame chicken, which I always eat, and then fried rice, which was as dry as a popcorn fart. You know, I'm like, jeez. You can take these pieces of rice and shoot them through the straw at the people that are sitting behind you.
And they hurt. That's dry.
Exactly.
So meanwhile, back at the purchase, so I meet this kid on OfferUp, and I meet him at a drugstore in town, and turns out he's not too far from me. And that's one of the factors I use when I search for things, and make sure they're not too far away, because you don't want to drive 40 miles just to go get something.
Right.
Because then you start losing money. You've got all that gas mileage and time.
Especially gas nowadays.
And time is more valuable than anything these days. And then I got to get up and go to work the next day, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, imagine that. So I get there and I meet this kid. He won't even look me in the eye. So instantly I'm thinking, is this stolen? He doesn't want to sell it to me?
Was it a kid or?
It was a kid. He was probably 21 or 22. And anyway, he drives in and I tell him what I'm driving so he can spot me. And then he pulls right in next to me.
Yeah, who could miss that?
Yeah, well, let's not mention the chartreuse color because somebody might spot me on the highway or something. But anyway,
Okay.
he comes in and I get out of the car and I go, "Are you so and so?" And yeah, "Are you so and so?" Yeah. So he lets me look at it, and I said, "Why are you selling it?" And he goes, "Well, I want to put the money toward a bigger amplifier." He says, "I want to buy something new," and I said, "Okay," So I said, "It looks good," and I said, "Nothing is wrong with it," and he says, No. And then he looks down at the ground. He won't even make eye contact. But I think that's kind of symptomatic of some of these kids today.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to look you in the eye because they're always on their devices.
Their phone, yeah.
They don't know how to handle human interaction, which is weird to me.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, at least he shook my hand, and that was that. But I make it a habit. If you're going to do this, it's a good idea if you've got a fairly quick mind to memorize their license plate number. And you can also track them through the app if
Is
it
that
is
like
hot.
a photographic memory?
Something like that. Take a picture, dude. It'll last longer.
It does.
It does, but if you don't think to do that, or you can't get away with it without getting busted, having catch you doing it, because I don't want to cause them to feel not
uncomfortable.
right.
Yeah.
So, but if you can do it on the slide. That's probably not a bad idea. But it turned out okay, and this amp has got all these different effects on it, like a hall sound or reverb. All these different little settings that you normally get with higher priced stuff.
Does it sound like any of them sound like you're in a barrel?
You mean like the show? Yeah, we're in a barrel. It's a barrel of fun. And you're
Barrel full of monkeys.
You're lucky to be sharing it with us. That's how I look at it. No,
Oh, wow. Did you hear that, folks?
I'm kidding. I'm not arrogant
No,
like
he's
that.
not.
All three of you listening, I really appreciate your listenership.
Me too.
And
All three of you.
I hope that the show grows. I mean, we don't have, millions of listeners, but thousands would be nice.
Yeah.
We're growing. I can tell you that, and we have regulars, so that's good. But anyway, purchases, nice bargains can be had. So if you just look
So
around,
can people.
yeah. Thank goodness I haven't been so far. Knock on wood. That was my head.
Yeah, that's what it was his head he was knocking on, folks.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Any more of those
Speaking
coming around?
of cows, they're gone.
Did the rancher take them away?
I hope so.
Yeah, were they causing damage?
No, they're nothing to eat or drink.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty dry.
Oh, we have a good drought going right now.
Well, as we looked out this morning, it looked like there might be some rain clouds moving in. Mm-hmm. And you just went out to see a man about a horse. So was it raining?
No,
Oh.
it was raining up towards the mountains, up towards higher mountains.
See a man about a horse is our code for bathroom.
Yeah.
So when you have to see a man about a horse, that's what we're talking about. Just FYI. That's how we say it in the country.
The country. But yeah, I'm glad they did, because those poor cows were just turning into skin and bones.
Yeah, the last times we saw them, they looked pretty skinny. Mm-hmm. I could see ribs on one of them.
My wife wanted to go out and haul some water into their tanks and put it in there, because the damn ranchers don't.
Wow.
They'll let them die, I guess.
How do they move them?
Or they come out with horses in a trailer and round them up and put them in a trailer and move them to a different area.
You can only haul so many at a time.
Right. Yep.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
It is.
You say that some of them round them up with helicopters or track them that way?
Yeah. You'll see a helicopter flying around out here. And,
Is it like a two-seater? Or?
yeah, it's just a small one.
Okay.
Privately owned, I'm sure.
Oh,
or
yeah.
either that, or they might rent one out for a day or something. Or they'll come out in a plane. Sometimes they'll come out in a plane out from Prescott.
Where do they live, do you know?
One rancher lives out here,
Oh, okay.
just over on the tip. Well, remember when I took you guys out for that one ride,
Yeah.
and we went way over on the other side?
Yeah.
He lives over there,
Okay.
and he has a whole barn full of hay. The last time I was over there, which was a couple years ago, but I don't know about now. But,
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, you bring them home to eat and then put them back out when the grass is green.
right.
Probably doesn't have room for all of them, though.
I don't know, but I'm glad they're doing something about it, because these poor cows, you could see their hip bones sticking out a half a mile. And
Yep. That's not
the
good.
ribs showing, and
Wow.
they were starving.
Yeah, no kidding. I always wondered how they could eat as well as they did.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Because it looks pretty sparse up here.
Well, on the other 80 over there on my property, remember where we flew the drones?
Mm-hmm.
That has grass and stuff, so they used to go over there when it was green, but now it's, of course, all dead.
Yeah, it looks all dry. We go through those periods, and we've been in a drought for, the last 12 years?
Basically,
Maybe
yeah.
more. It's never not rained too much. It doesn't mean it doesn't rain. It just doesn't. I mean, we don't get much rain to begin with. But when you don't get enough for the plants to survive, then certainly
Right.
the cows can't.
You need light rains,
Lots of them.
lots of them,
Yeah.
instead of these monsoon downpours that just tear everything up.
Yeah, they destroy the roads and the dirt.
Well, look at my place, because we live on a hill, and bless you, that was Rockford, he sneezed.
Okay.
We live on a hill, and there's no ground cover to hold the dirt, and when that monsoon hits, boy, it just washes everything out.
Yeah, well, I know here, just in our driveway, when it rains, it kind of points downhill on a slight grade, and it just cuts ruts right into the road.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon we're going to have the Grand Canyon here if I don't fill that in with rock.
I've already have one starting
Yeah.
over where the old man lives, the other old man on top of the hill.
Yep.
They cut that ditch from the top of their hill, and it leads into my property.
So it runs right down.
So it runs right down the hill, and through the last years of the monsoon, I mean, I have 5-foot deep ruts in the side of my hills
Wow.
because of that.
Yeah, you need to put some rock up there.
Nah, that's not going to do anything. It'll just blow it out. It'll wash it out.
Yeah, maybe some big rocks.
You need big rocks. But yeah, I'm like, really? They cut it right onto my property, and so their property will be fine. You rotten son of a gun.
Well, just, a little courtesy and a little forethought helps.
Exactly.
Like in my case, there was a place where they installed my solar array. There are pipes and tubes there where they cut holes in to put them in. And the rain I could see was rutting out down there, and it was running right over to your place and rutting that out because of the speed of the water. So I just put rock in there, and I think it's helped. On your side, do you see a difference?
No. Remember, because I told you, what was it, 2 years ago? Hey, you guys, when that guy came out to put your pad in and everything, he took some dirt away that usually kept the water from running down that side.
Oh, geez. So we should do something then to see if we can stop it.
Yeah, I don't think they're Not unless I take my tractor and cut a ditch, going sideways into the place.
Yeah.
And then run that out. But see, then once that starts getting cut by the water, it's going to turn into a Grand Canyon too.
Well, maybe we can slow it down, and then if we slow it down, it'll have time to absorb into the soil. Put some big rocks.
Something, yeah.
At least the size of your 50-pound, 60-pound
ones.
rocks. So the good news is Arizona is one of the top 10 places to come to see
the Grand Canyon.
Oh, well, it's like one of 2 states that you can see the Grand Canyon from. Jen, hand me that bottle of water, please. Thank you very much.
What?
You want one?
She sprung a leak.
Well, that almost hurt my ears. But yeah, one of 10 places in the world that are great for UFOs.
Yep.
Are the top 10. And in Sedona, which is just south of us, it's one of the.
It's north.
Oh yeah, it is. It's northeast.
It's northeast.
That's right. Doesn't seem like it would be, but
No,
I guess
it
it is.
doesn't.
Yeah, northeast of us, Sedona. It's one of the most popular UFO destinations. They have nightly tours that take people to see lights and orbs and portals and aliens and even Bigfoot.
And vortexes.
And vortices, as they say, as the plural of vortex. Vortex. Listen here, vortex. Every time I see an unusual name, I tell my son, I almost named you that.
The vortex.
Or some drug company comes on and says, get Uvulisplan or something. And I go,
yeah.
I almost made your name Uvulisplan.
Who in the hell
Comes up
makes
with these names?
I know.
It's crazy.
Like,
and I laugh at some of them because it's like, you wouldn't even say, I wouldn't want to say that out loud.
and then the side effects of all of them. Yeah, give me 10 bottles of that, please.
Cause runny snot, runny diarrhea, may cause even death.
Yeah.
That's the one they tag on the end. And death. Well,
Internal bleeding,
Internal
external
bleeding.
bleeding.
may cause
Eyeballs may swell.
uvula stretching.
Jeez. What the?
It's like, why in the hell would you take that? And, it's like, come on, man. Can't you find some way to treat people without killing them?
Mm-hmm.
It's like over time, you end up dead. So
You need to get into homeopathic.
say that again.
Homo-
Homeopathic.
Yeah, homeopathic.
Yeah.
Hey, homie. Homeopathic medicine.
Yeah.
That's what my buddy at work did. He was getting real bad gut pains and everything. He thought he had ulcers and everything.
Yeah, we talked about that with Bill on the show, one of the shows.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, he was treating his dog
Right.
homeopathically. Yeah, it works. I mean, for some people, they don't get much of an effect, unfortunately.
Yeah, he spent all this money going to the doctors out here, and
All he had to do was eat a bologna sandwich.
Change his diet.
I'm kidding.
Because he went to his parents' house where he grew up in Idaho, and saw a homeopathic doctor there, and the doctor says, "Oh, just change your diet, and everything should be fine." He changed his diet, and he was fine.
Yeah.
What in the hell is the matter with doctors?
You eat 1 grain of rice once a month, and that's all you get, and you'll be fine. No, but you do have to, basically, it's eat fresh foods from the garden and stay away from all the bad carb stuff.
Right.
You can eat meat, and they don't even recommend you eat meat because it's got so much chemicals in it now.
Anymore, yeah. You could eat lean meat,
But
like buffalo or something.
yeah, if you know where it came from, that makes a difference.
Right. And elk and, of course, wild game.
So, back to my UFO tours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kidding. I mean, we can talk about it, but I was just mentioning that because Gillian...
But anyways, I went to...
and one time at band camp...
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you.
I know you are. You're good at it. You must have been a sibling.
I was.
Yeah. The one that nobody likes to talk
I'm
about.
still a sibling.
They have these 2-hour meditation walks. I don't get into this meditation garbage because it's really about Eastern philosophy, which is false god worship. It's what it amounts to. And I don't get into that. And what's that other thing they have? Yoga. Yoga is based on a religion.
Yogurt.
No, that's different. Yogurt's
Yogurt's
holistic.
good for you, too.
Holistic. It's holistic, homie.
Have you ever eaten Greek yogurt?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay, go back to your story.
Soon, next week, you won't be hearing Garth. I'll be editing him out of the show.
I'm fired already.
You're not fired. I didn't hire you. You're always part of this show, buddy, whether you like it or not.
Uh-oh.
And after sunset in Sedona, they take you to these UFO hotspots where there's lots of activity. And the company guarantees you that you will see UFOs.
Really?
Yeah. They have special night vision goggles. I wonder if they're beer goggles. You'll see a lot of things.
Beer goggles?
And all the girls are pretty, too, after you drink beer. But they say it's so much activity there. And what about these portals?
Portholes, those are in boats.
Yes, they are, but portals are not portholes.
Oh.
Those are different. You're getting very nautical on me.
Nautical.
Such a nautical boy.
Aren't I, though?
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Thanks, kids.
Oh, so what I was saying is Gillian Anderson from the X-Files is shooting a movie, or just finished shooting a movie in Cincinnati. It's a brand new one called UFO.
Oh.
Can you remember those letters in case you want to watch it or rent it down the road?
Oh, what?
UFO.
Oh.
What's that guy's name? Straight Aaron. I can't think of his first name. Really good actor. He's in it as well. But it's about UFOs, about a character named Derek, who is a college student, and he's haunted by his childhood UFO sighting and believes that the mysterious sightings reported at multiple airports across the U.S. are UFOs. And with the help of his girlfriend and his professor, who is Gillian Anderson, they race to unravel the mystery with FBI agents. And David Strathairn, that's his name. He's part of it. He's the FBI agent. Special Agent Franklin Alls. A-H-L-S. That's a weird last name, Alls.
Are they against the president, too?
No, they're not against the president, too.
Oh.
They're against the president, 3.
And then we wrote...
And then I'm watching YouTube, as I'm often wont to do during my lunch, and guess who I pull up out of the weird clear blue?
Somebody I know?
Somebody you know about. It's the guy that played Colonel Klink on Hogan's Heroes.
Oh.
And his name is Werner Klemperer. It just kind of trips right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a classically trained musician, and I didn't realize it, but he was an import from Germany. I think he was born there. And his parents brought him over to California, and his dad was an orchestra leader. So his dad played violin, and he taught his son how to play. And Werner was a very good, classically trained violinist.
Say that again.
I can't. I can't even.
It looks like
close.
you're really concentrating.
I really am. I'm so it's so warm in here today. I don't know what's wrong with the air conditioner. We'll have to get Smitty to get that kicked or something.
Oh, I thought you were going to do that an hour ago.
Well, you did. You ordered the computer to tell him to do it. But I guess he hasn't done it yet. Maybe he's taking a long dirt nap or something.
I think he is.
I'll have to find out if
Is
he's
he
okay.
still down there?
I think so.
I heard that. I'm working on it.
Oh, good.
Where did that? Is the intercom on?
Well, I like to listen sometimes.
Oh, that's eavesdropping.
Yeah, it really is.
Show her the speaker monitor.
Okay, I guess
Well,
you're off
turn
the
it
hook
off. Turn that off, Chris. He's eavesdropping on
then.
it.
Okay, get out of here, Smitty. Please fix it.
Yeah, come on.
Working on it.
I want to hear some noise down there. Uh-oh. What did he just do?
That's not the kind of noise I was thinking of.
Hope he didn't blow the toilet up.
Again. Well, I'm not even calling. I'm not doing it. I'm resisting the urge.
I wouldn't either.
We'll
go down there after the show and check it out.
We have to. Because I am deathly afraid now.
I wonder.
Should have called the
There's going to be porcelain all over the place.
Or Smitty.
Or Smitty.
I don't know which. But anyway, Werner Klemperer was in the military. He signed up for the Army in World War II. And you'll never guess who his commanding officer was.
Hogan.
Wrong.
Hogan.
No, that would have been ironic, wouldn't it? No, but it was the guy that played Ernest T. Bass from the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Who later became the head of the Actors Union. And he was voice of Mushmouth in Pumpkin Puss. You remember that cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
He was Mushmouth. And I can't think of his real name, but I will in a moment.
Throw it out. Give it to me.
I'll give it to you.
I oughta.
Ernest T. Bass was played by the actor Howard Morris. And Howard he did more cartoons than I think he did anything else. He did Adam Ant, remember?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what else. Hundreds of different voices. Very talented guy.
Oh, did you know the new movie Ant and the Wasp are coming out? Oh, it's already out.
Yes, it's out. And it came out this weekend.
Boy, what a stupid movie that looks like it'd be.
Well, it's not getting very good ratings of the people that have watched it. It's entertaining and it's funny, but it doesn't have a whole lot of a storyline, and that's where they went wrong. The evil guy is not so evil, and the good guys don't do enough stuff. It's basically CGI. So and then they give a spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie and you're going to see it, and you don't want to hear about this. Turn your set off now.
Yes.
Well, here's what's happened. They even give the daughter an ant costume, and she does something with it. It's like, really, they made the little kid a superhero too. So I don't
watch those kind of movies anyway.
I do. I like them. I think that they're well done. Like the Avengers movies, those were fantastic. Wonder Woman was great. I didn't like, one was better than the other.
You just liked Wonder Woman.
Well, I like Wonder Woman anyway, but
I bet you wish you could be in her tights.
I wouldn't look good in them. These legs, they're just a little chunky, and I just don't think they'd look good in tights. I'm sorry. But
I think you'd look good in them. You
my
should try it. Run
gosh,
around out here.
look-
Let me take pictures of you.
Look at the time. I'm going to have to go in for lunch. I'm going to slowly keep my back against the wall as I leave. I don't know why I'm getting this feeling, but
It's okay.
it's not okay. I don't think God liked it either.
Thunderstorm.
Good. I hope it rains. We need it.
Yes, we do.
Man, I hope it rains. Come on, please, rain.
Well, it's starting to turn black.
Well, yeah, I got my wish. Well, at least on the sound effects tray, it's playing rain. Or I've got a leak in the roof or something.
I could hear it.
There's something calming about a thunderstorm to me. I like when it thunderstorms. I've always
Especially
liked
when
it.
you're camping, when it's hits
That's
landing on the tent or on the trailer and stuff.
That's one of the few times it's not comforting.
Really? I love it.
Well, I'm usually down in a valley and I'm getting flooded and my sleeping bag's soaked.
Oh,
Or I find out my tent leaks.
I found that out last year.
You found out my tent leaks?
No, I found out my tent leaked.
Okay. Camping stories. We could go off on that tangent too, but that's always
I
an
remember
adventure.
in band camp.
One time at band camp?
Yeah,
You never went to band camp.
I never will.
If you did, you didn't learn much.
I didn't, did I?
But I went to band camp for 4 years.
I could tell.
And then they let me out and unchained me, and there I am. I became unhinged from the chain. Just like Ernest T. Bass. He was always throwing a lot. I tried to make it work.
Okay.
Oh, anyway.
Excuse me.
Meanwhile, back at the Batcave, I noticed more and more people my age and older are wearing Batman stuff.
Really?
Does that unnerve you?
No.
You see a 70-year-old woman wearing a Batman emblem? My mother-in-law, who's, I shouldn't say she's over 80, but she is, and she wears a Batman shirt. She bought one at the store because my wife likes to wear them, I do, and my son does too. So she wanted to be part of the group, and she bought her first Batman t-shirt.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. How is she doing anyways?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. She's going to... We won't mention the speeding ticket she got the other day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And then she had to take a class online, which was utter hell because my wife had to read to her and explain to her what it meant. And then she had to choose the right answer online because there's something lost in translation. Mm-hmm. She reads English, but she's getting older now and she's trying to understand it, What do they mean by that?
She still drives?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Is that all those hit and runs that I see on the news all the time?
Yeah,
No,
my son jokes about it. Yeah, I know, Grandma hitting a reindeer. No, but she does okay. I've watched her drive. She's all right.
No, it's not Grandma hitting a reindeer. It's Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I should have
Grandma got run.
Rewinding the hits. Back to the 70s.
Perfect. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Meanwhile, Granny is trying to darn socks. Those darn
Those
socks.
darn socks. Anyways.
What's for lunch? Chinese food?
Chinese food?
Yeah, well, my wife's Chinese, so anything she makes is Chinese food. She said that to me one day. You know, if we eat pizza, that's Chinese pizza.
Chinese pizza?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put some bean sprouts on it.
I told you we got a pizza stone for the oven the other day, right?
No, she did.
Oh, did she? Yeah, I want to use it and see how crisp it makes the corners.
You have to warm those things up for an hour, they say, before you put a pizza on.
That makes sense because you have to heat it up, make sure it's going to toast it.
There's a
pretty well.
lot. Or you guys have an electric stove at home?
No. Well, yeah, at home, but
Up here,
it's gas.
yeah. You only want to use that during the wintertime.
Yeah, because it's pretty hot inside otherwise. Yeah, or we could use it outside. You wonder if it would work out on a grill.
It probably would.
I wonder if it get hot enough.
Yeah, I think it would.
You think?
Mm-hmm. That grill that you got from me,
Yeah.
or you got me and I gave back to you.
We traded. Yeah, you didn't like that grill. She loves that.
Oh,
grill.
I love it. I liked it, but it was just too big.
Yeah.
It was, because it's only Mary and I, and I've cooked 2
Small
pork
portions.
chops, and no use to wasting $5 worth of gas for 2 pieces of food.
Yeah, I hear you there. Gotta conserve, my friend. Oh, you know what that means.
Oh, I do.
That means the show is coming to a close.
Yes, it is. And I have to give my buddy out in Long Beach, California, Mark, Captain Cactus. He grows cactuses and stuff. I have to say hi to him, buddy.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, Mark.
Even though this show is not quite the best. Next week will be better, I promise.
Yes, we will be. But this is just off the cuff.
Off the cuff today. We're just off our mark. So what have you got? We wise old sage, you're supposed to bring us something here every week.
Oh, yeah, strange but true facts.
Each week.
It says here, if you like abalone, which is probably about $90 a pound now.
Wow.
I used to get it all the time over at Catalina, but when I was snorkeling and stuff, it says when young abalones feed on red seaweed, their shells turn red.
I believe that.
I believe it too.
And with that,
And
we're
with
going to
that,
say goodbye.
and with that, adios, folks.
Adios, amoeba. I'm Chris,
And I'm Garth.
and we are
The Bunker Boys. Bye-bye.